Um, I'm back for another rambling session. Back to get on my soapbox about something else. These aren't scripted. That's why they're so. How do I say? Amateurish, juvenile. That's why they're not very clear, not very concise, not very well made. Yeah, that's probably why. Because I really just like to sit here and get it onto a train of thought and just let it take me wherever it wants to. Um, Today, I kind of have a vague idea of what I want to talk about, but first, I want to talk about. Wait, what? I forgot completely what I was gonna say. So I'm gonna just start to talk and hope it turns into something. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm nervous. I haven't recorded. I haven't recorded like in a while. I mean, I don't have like a recording schedule or anything, but I think it's been like a month or so because I've just been busy. Life is happening. I'm gonna be moving soon too, so that's been keeping me pretty occupied. But I am happy to say that I've also been busy painting a lot. I've actually reached a point of commitment and motivation with my art that it's kind of all I want to do at all times. Um, I have started to feel like if I'm not painting, or if I'm not thinking about painting, or if I'm not planning a painting, or if I'm not doing something to help me towards bettering my art, I'm kind of like wasting my time, or I should be doing that instead. But not in like a toxic way where I begin to dread it, but in a way where it's making me really excited. It's making me really excited. Like I love the mindset that I've been in for the past couple months, and it's something that I've experienced in the past, but it hasn't ever been this consistent over a long period of time. So I've just been squeezing all the inspiration that I could out of it, and it's just been such a fun time. That kind of leads into what I kind of want to talk about today. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna title it, but it's gonna be something like sacrificing romance for ambition, or sacrificing romance for um, commitment to one's craft. Um, am I only capable of one outlet of passion? Because I'm really starting to feel that way, but I don't think it's. I think, hmm, how do I explain this? I've always been a very independent person. I've never been the type of person to look for a relationship or to date around or to feel like I never feel like I need romantic attention. I never chase romantic attention. If I'm without romantic attention, I never really feel like I am missing anything. And that's just the kind of person I am. I'm not saying it's bad to want to have a romantic partner or it's bad to chase that. Whatever makes you fulfilled is great, but it's just never been a fulfilling option to me. I think if I happen to fall in love, it would definitely be by accident, and it would have to be a love so fulfilling that it is able to pull me away from the other things in my life that fulfill me. Um, so I've always been that kind of person. I think since I was young, I remember when I was a little girl, as young as maybe 7, 8 years old, and I would think about my ideal marriage when I'm older. Just imagining my future. Even back then, my ideal adult relationship was one where we were apart most of the time. When I was a little girl and I would talk to my friends or my siblings about what I wanted in the future, I think I would literally say that I would want me and whoever I'm in love with or whoever I'm married to be two very successful, very ambitious people, and so committed to our careers or our passions that we live in different cities, but we love each other so much that we take time off, maybe every month or once a week or something, to see each other. And I fly to their city or they fly to my city, and we spend passionate, love-filled, romantic time together for like a day or two, and then we separate and we go back to our different cities. Like, I never thought it was ideal to have somebody that is like my other half, or somebody that is with me all the time. That's never really appealed to me. And I don't think I'm aromantic or asexual, because I have those urges like everybody else. Like, I can have a crush here and there, or I can have like a romantic fantasy and be like, oh, it'd be so cute if this person, this imaginary person in my head and I had like a little flirty thing. Or it'd be so cute, like if I have a crush on somebody specific, it'd be so cute if we went on a date or if we held hands. You know, like, I have all those regular urges and human wants, but they just have never been strong enough to trump any of my other passions, especially my art, or even just passions like bettering myself. I think that's a big passion of mine. Bettering myself physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. Bettering my soul is a big passion of mine, and I've just never wanted romance enough to let it distract me from any of that. And I've always wondered why that is, and I think it comes down to, one, independence. I'm a very hyper independent person, whether you see that as a negative or a positive. I've definitely seen it in both ways at different times in my life, but that's just the kind of person I am. I'm very hyper independent. There are a few people that I allow into my close circle. Like, I'm a friendly person, so a lot of people will say they know me or like are friendly with me, but I don't have a lot of actual true friends. I think I could count them on one hand, maybe one and a half hands. And my actual, like, really, really close people, I have 3 of them. And even with those people, I am a pretty distant person naturally, and they are so close to me that they understand it, but I'm not gonna be texting all day or calling every day or any of that. Once a week is literally the closest you would get to me, because that's me showing that I care a lot about somebody, is like a once a week type of contact. So that's also that's not a very compatible trait with a relationship, especially not nowadays. I think maybe if we had like the thing where back in the day, to talk to a lover, you would have to send a letter by bird and wait a couple months or a couple weeks for them to write back, and that's how correspondence was. I think I would thrive if that was the way it worked now. But I just can't do constant contact, constant correspondence. Is just not for me. So yeah, there's definitely that independent factor that leads into it. There's also a factor that I found of not having, I don't have room for another person. Like, I don't have a gap that needs filling. I generally feel like a lot of people say like love is the goal of life and love is what life is about. Or people say, oh, I met this person and I fell in love and that finally made my life full. Or people will say, oh, I finally met my other half and I feel like I've been missing something my whole life.
I love you. You complete me. And I just had...
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello.
But for me, I feel like I'm a whole human being. I am a whole soul independently. Like, I am not a half of a pair. I am not, I don't have a hole in my heart that needs to be filled by somebody else. I don't have a gap in whatever fulfillment or whatever happiness that I decide is the goal of my life that needs to be aided by somebody else's companionship for me to get there. I genuinely feel that even when I think about a potential love, I don't feel like I could ever be more of a person than I already am. I'm not one half of a duo. I'm not one half of a pair. My soul is just whole. It's two. There's no room. There's no room for anybody else in there. There's no room in my heart for anybody else. And it's not a thing of being full of myself. It's just a thing of not having the room. There's no room for it. There's no need for it. It's not a requirement. It would be nice. It would be cute, I'm sure. But I generally I know young people say this all the time, and older, more experienced people are like, oh, you say that now, but you might change your mind, or you say that now because you don't have any experience. But I know how I feel about myself right now, and how I feel about my life, and how happy I am, how fulfilled I am. And I can say for a fact that I would be content to be alone romantically for the rest of my life. And it wouldn't take away from my quality of life. It wouldn't take away from my happiness. It wouldn't change the person that I am. It wouldn't. And I think my outlet of passion is my ambition and my creativity. And maybe I pour too much passion into that I don't have any left for a person. Because if I was to fall in love, I would want it to be passionate. It would have to match or exceed the amount of passion and love that I have for my art and for painting. Because if it doesn't, then it would just be kind of a waste of time that I could be investing into something that fulfills me way more. And I've just never found anybody or any relationship or any situation that has even come close to that level of passion and excitement and goosebumps. Yeah. I just, not that I'm saying it's impossible. I can't tell the future or anything. I'm only going off of what I've experienced and what I know in the years that I've lived. But it's just a conclusion I've come to after a lot of thinking. And I really do believe that it's something that I'm going to stop trying to change about myself, because I've always thought, oh, am I a little weird? Like, why don't I want what everybody else seems to need? Why don't I want what is the goal of many people's young years, But I think it's fine, either way is fine. If you're fulfilled by love, that's amazing, that's beautiful. And if you're like me and you're fulfilled by pursuit of whatever passion is put on your heart, I think that's cool too. I've decided that I'm no longer going to try to fix that about myself, because people look at me sometimes, or when I tell my family or my friends sometimes, I'm like, oh no, I like being alone. They always take it from such a sad point of view, and they're like, oh, she must be telling that to herself to make herself feel better. But I actually mean it. If it's even to the point where if you're not somebody that I am excited by, or somebody that I find mentally stimulating or intellectually stimulating, or if you're not somebody that also has a passion that I can hear about. I love to hear people talk about the things they're passionate about. I love it. I think it's when people are most alive. I think that's what life is about. Like, when you find that one thing that makes you want to keep living, and then you continue to pursue that, I think that's the most beautiful thing ever. So I love to hear about that. But when I'm in the company of people who I feel don't have that spark that excites me, I am so disinterested. It's so unappealing, and I would rather be on my own. It may sound arrogant, but honestly, I prefer my own company to the company of many many people. And that's not to mean that they're any worse off. That's not to mean that their life is not as fulfilling. I just mean that it doesn't have to be intertwined with my life and my existence. Yeah, I think I'm just grateful for it. I'm grateful that I have passion. I'm grateful that I have fulfillment independent of other people, you know. I think that it's definitely something that, even though it is my nature from childhood, it's definitely something that has been reinforced over time through my life experiences, through my upbringing as well. And even though it may be a result of some bad experiences or a result of some neglect in my childhood, I think it's one of the things about myself that I actually really, really love. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to see how far it could take me, because I genuinely think that I have a head start, because I am not going to be distracted by anyone. I would genuinely like sacrifice many of my relationships if I felt that they were distracting me or they were taking away anything from what I want to achieve. Which may sound harsh, and it's not that I don't value people, but I just don't need many of my relationships. And I will hope that they're well, and I will hope that they are happy and they continue to be successful and taking care of their whole life. But I feel that I don't need constant companionship, you know? So the relationship itself is what I don't put too much value to, not the person. I think every person is very valuable, and every person is amazing regardless of like their own, regardless, everybody is valuable. But the relationship itself is what I personally don't assign a lot of value to. I assign value to, like I said, my passion. And I like I said, sorry, I was saying, I think I have a head start because I generally believe that I can go so far without those distractions. And I think at the end of my life, I may look back and I may say, actually, no, I don't see myself having a regret. I tried to imagine that, but I don't see it. I could be proven wrong, but I genuinely don't see that. I think there's no downside to it, because if I do come across somebody that I love, or a romantic relationship that I want to foster, it's going to be one that is so full and so unbelievably magnetic to me that I won't be able to even push it away. And that's going to be just such an amazing relationship, because I know that I'm not going to give the time to any relationship that doesn't level up to the happiness, the joy, the peace that I give myself. Anybody that I get into any romantic relationship with will have to compete with the peace and fulfillment that I already have on my own. So not only am I excited for what I'm going to accomplish with my passion and my art, I'm excited to see if there's going to be a romance in my life that levels up to that, or that that matches up to that level that will be needed to drag me out of the pinpoint focus that I have right now. Yeah, I'm just in a very good headspace, and I just wanted to, talk about that. I think for me personally, I'm a very loyal person, and when I'm letting out all this passion into one thing, into my art, I don't think I have it in me to also give passion to a person. Because if I do something, I love to do it fully. I love to put my whole self into it. And I think that I've chosen one path, and I can't split myself in two and say I'm going to give enough attention or enough attentiveness, enough love to a human being, while also putting all this passion, love, and attentiveness into my art as well. I think for me, I'm somebody that has to pick one, because You know that scene from Whiplash, was it? I think it was Whiplash, where he's like, oh, what does he say?
Well, I don't think that we should be together. And I've thought about it a lot, and this is what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna keep pursuing what I'm pursuing. And because I'm doing that, it's gonna take up more and more of my time, and I'm not gonna be able to spend as much time with you. And even when I do spend time with you, I'm gonna be thinking about drumming. And I'm gonna be thinking about jazz music and my charts and all that. And because of that, you're gonna start to resent me. And you're gonna tell me to ease up on the drumming, spend more time with you because you're not feeling important. And I'm not gonna be able to do that. And really, I'm just gonna start to resent you for even asking me to stop drumming. And we're just gonna start to hate each other. And it's gonna be ugly. And so for those reasons, I'd rather just, break it off clean. Because I wanna be great.
He says, I want to be one of the greats, and something about the relationship being a distraction, you know. In that scene, he was being portrayed as a bit of the asshole, but like, first of all, I love that movie, but I'm also him. Like, that's literally me. My brother's just another me. Like, I would never say that to anybody because I was raised to be polite, but I have definitely thought that a lot. Like, I've had like dates or little conversations with people who I was interacting with in a romantic way, and just thought to myself, this is not stimulating me enough for it to be taking time away from my art. Yikes. Maybe I'm a jerk. I don't know. I would never say that to them, obviously, but my priorities are just not for that. And maybe it's because I'm young and I don't feel that I need a relationship yet, but I am at an age where a lot of people are in serious relationship. Most of my friends are either married or close to getting married right now. And I am friends with a lot of people that are like a couple years older than me, but still, like early 20s, close to mid 20s. All my friends are settling down. All my friends are with their person. So there is a part of me that's like, oh, what am I missing? Like, not what am I missing out of? There's a part of me that's like, I could be wrong, like maybe this is a problem. There's always been that part of me, but I've decided to just move on from that mindset and just say, hey, I am who I am. And maybe when I'm 30, 35, 40, I'm gonna wake up one day and say, oh, I need love. I need to be in love right now. Oh, where is the person that I can spend the rest of my life with? Please, I'm so lonely. Maybe in a couple years that might be me. Hey, if that is, don't throw this video in my face. But for right now, that is literally the least appealing thing to me. So maybe I am somebody that has to sacrifice one outlet of passion for another, Yeah. Today's art piece, what I'm going to show you today, I'm probably going to put in the video of me holding it up. It's going to be a horizontal, vertical. It's going to be a vertical video because I posted it on my other platform because it's kind of a big painting and I really don't feel like going up to get it right now. But it is called Reason Enough, and it's a painting of a scene from the movie Project Hail Mary, which is basically a movie about a scientist being sent into space on a mission to save the world, basically. And it's kind of a suicide mission. The plot of the movie doesn't really matter in the context of the painting because the whole point of the painting is that I saw the scene in the movie theater and I was sitting there, and I think at that point in my life, it was like, was it a year ago, a couple months ago? At that point in my life, I was kind of searching for not inspiration. I was pretty inspired, but I think I was also at a pretty low point in my life, and I was searching for a deeper, more important reason to create, because a lot of my paintings do have a lot of meaning behind it. But I think at that point I was trying to convince myself that art and creativity isn't a useless path to go down. I was trying to tell myself, oh, you don't have to do the smart thing, you don't have to go down the conventional path, you can do what actually makes you happy, you know. And I think I was trying to find the reason that art really made me feel so much, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't put any words to it. And I was sitting in the movie theater watching that movie, and it's a tearjerker of a movie, and I'm somebody that cries at every single movie I watch. So I was a mess that whole movie, but I had finally cleaned myself up. I had come back down from all the emotions of, you know, all the scenes that were supposed to make you cry. And then there was that scene of the, I think it's called the Petrova line, and it's this scene of all these beautiful reddish, warm, pinkish colors, and all these dots, you know, that were just like blurring in and out of the screen. And I literally saw it, and it washed over the movie theater, and I started to weep. Literally, I was crying more than all the sad scenes in the movie, just because I thought it was so beautiful. Like, I thought it was the most pretty thing I had seen in a long time. And it literally, the beauty of it brought me to tears. And I was sitting in the movie theater weeping. And it was like a funny thing because everybody else was done crying by that point. Like, that wasn't the sad scene. And as soon as I saw it and as soon as I got that feeling in my chest, I knew I was going to paint it. Not to replicate it, but to replicate that moment, to replicate what it meant to me in that moment, to just realize that beauty is reason enough to create. Like, just looking at something and thinking, wow, that thing is pretty, that thing is beautiful. That's more than reason enough. That's more than reason enough, you know. A lot of my art is going to continue to have a lot of deep meaning behind it. But I also think if something is beautiful, then it deserves to be preserved in art. Yeah, because what made me cry in that scene was not the meaning behind it. It was not any story. It was nothing. It was literally just how visually appealing it was to me. And I want to continue to chase that feeling over and over again of being brought to tears by beauty, you know. I haven't felt that way since then, but I think that's something that I want to do more of. I want to just find things that are so beautiful, you know. I think that's how I see everything. Like, things that are so aesthetically beautiful make me feel so much in my heart, you know. Like, I see people, beautiful places, plants, whatever it is, literally whatever it is, and I feel it so deeply. And that's something that I want to be able to, I want to get skilled enough, because I know I'm not there yet, but I want to get skilled enough to evoke that feeling through my art and other people, along with obviously having a message behind some of it, you know. Call me shallow, but I think beauty is reason enough, you know. So yeah, that's the painting and the story behind it. I actually haven't eaten today and I'm pretty hungry, so I'm gonna go have some food. I don't think I have anything else to say. That was actually a pretty good ramble session. I'm excited to, I find editing so fun. You know, I'm really bad at it. I just started, but I'm excited to edit this and see how it all turned out. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're watching, thanks for getting to the end. Should I get an intro and an outro? I don't know. I've literally just, I've just been starting these like kind of raw, just going straight into the conversation, but I don't know if I should have like an introduction. I hope you guys like the painting today. If you relate to me in the sense that you don't have room for somebody else in your heart, or you are not a half of a pair, if you're just a singular soul, you know, that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's perfectly fine, because that means that you're completely fulfilled in other ways. And I think that's great. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Bye.